Kristen from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and I'm here today to review the Fibre Company Terra yarn. If you haven't heard of this yarn yet, you should definitely go look it up immediately. It is absolutely stunning. It's got amazing texture, the colors are really great. It's got these really interesting kind of tonal nubs in it, which I guess if you're not really super into yarn with texture like that, it may not be the best yarn for you, but I think it really adds some unique depth to your project. So depending on what you're doing, this might be a really great yarn for your project. The fiber content makes it absolutely luscious. It's got 40% baby alpaca, 40% wool, and 20% silk. So it's super soft next to skin. Because it's partial wool and partial alpaca, you don't get that kind of hang that alpaca tends to do. I mean, I love alpaca yarns, don't get me wrong, but sometimes they can be a little bit too kind of drapey and they don't really retain their shape super well, so the wool really helps with that. And then the silk gives it sort of a nice sheen and a little bit of softness too. Really beautiful colors. I've got 7 of them here with me because I'm wearing one, and then these 6. They're all just very nice kind of natural tonal colors. I really love this yarn. I can't say enough about it. It does shed a little bit. You'll notice because of the alpaca, it's got a little bit of like hairiness to it, although once you block it, a lot of that goes away. So this hasn't shed once since I've blocked it, and actually I gave this to my mother-in-law for Christmas. I had to borrow it back from her to do this video. But she loves it, and she is a little sensitive to alpaca and hasn't had any issues with it. So anyway, that's that with the yarn. You get about 98 yards to a 50 grams hank, and you actually use an 8 or a 9 needle on it, so it's kind of a heavier worsted weight. Again, you could do all kinds of projects with this: hats, scarves, shawls, cowls, just about anything. I'm not really sure how this would work up as a full sweater. It is a single ply yarn, so it might pill a little bit with your, your sweaters and things like under the arms. So you just may want to consider that when you're choosing it for a garment. Just think about how you would knit it, or what kind of a garment you would knit it with or knit it for. So it's a little bit tricky, but I think this yarn is really ideal for accessories for sure. So I'm going to put these down so I can show off this shawl. This is actually a free pattern on the Fibre Company website. It's a very popular pattern on Ravelry. It's called the Springtime Bandit. We knit this in our knit along last fall, and this was the end result. I made mine bigger, so this is a lot larger than the actual one. The normal one is like just a scarflet size, and it takes 4 hanks. This one I used 6 hanks, and I barely had enough to finish. So with 2 extra repeats of the body section. So, but I think it turned out pretty great. One thing that was really interesting, and something you may want to consider with this yarn, because it's hand dyed, you get sort of a natural variation in the yarns, and this whole middle section, it looks like, is almost a different color. It's a little lighter, and that's normal. These are the same dye lots. I pulled them right out of the same bag, but the middle skeins that I ended up using, I guess, turned out to be a little lighter. So maybe rotating or alternating your skeins might actually have helped to prevent it, but it was the kind of thing I didn't actually notice until I was finished. So, but I think it's kind of neat the way that it's tonal, and I really love this color. This is the mint color. This pattern was really simple. It was kind of a really basic lace pattern. I loved it. I thought it was a great knit. It took hardly any time at all because it's knit on size 9 needles. And again, the yarn was just really, really luscious. So I recommend it. So this free pattern is called the Springtime Bandit. It's on the Fibre Company website. We have a kit for this on our website with the link included there, so feel free to check that out as well. And again, I'm Kristen from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and I'm reviewing the Fibre Company Terra yarn. I hope you've enjoyed the review, and I hope you have a great day. Happy knitting. Bye.
Thunder rumbles on this American summer night.